Welcome to my top 12 purchases of 2023. It's been a pretty good year when it comes to collecting, at least. I was able to make quite a few additions, but more upgrades. I said that going into 2023 that this year was going to be the year of the upgrade, and it most certainly was. And 2024, I'll come out with my top 10 books I'd like to get for 2024, maybe next week after the new year. That's probably going to continue that tradition of upgrading books and maybe a few additions here and there, just like 2023. But 2023 was a pretty big year for me when it came to collecting books. So let's start at number 12. Here's a book you usually don't see too much. Journey into Mystery, number 16. It was Tony Toth that got me really into this book. He gave me his older copy, and I said to myself that, I'd like to upgrade that one day, and I did, to this nice, I believe it's I estimate it to be a 5.0. It could be wrong, but it's, regardless, a very nice copy of a Harry Anderson, a vampire transformation cover. I think it's, I don't want to say this book is necessarily under the radar, but it's, again, one of those books that, those Precode Journey into Mysteries that you really don't see too often. Great book. Here at number 11, we have Mystery Tales number 9. This is a great book I purchased off my friend Mike. Here we have one of my favorite types of, when it comes to horror, my favorite genre of horror, morgue covers. So this is a pretty good one. There's still a couple other morgue covers out there I would like to add to my collection, so they would be additions. And this is an addition to my collection, not necessarily, not an upgrade. That was number 11. Let's go to number 10. Now, I've had many copies of this book over the years, so it's an upgrade. All right. But I purchased this from Mike. I think I bought it at the same time I bought Mystery Tales 9 from him. So anyway, here we have one of my favorite EC covers, Vault of Horror number 13. This is probably a 665 copy. And again, not an easy book to find. Especially when you're looking for it in grades like 6 and above. So I was very happy to add that to my collection, at least that copy. It's been a long, it took a while. Excuse me, sorry. It took a while to upgrade that book. And I thought I made my last upgrade to it earlier in the year when I got a 5.5. But when that copy came up, I was like, this is way better than that. It looks way better. So I had to get it. Now this book is an addition to my collection. It's not an upgrade, but probably will be upgraded. Who knows when? But right now it stands as an addition to my collection. Here we have at number 9, I believe, The Thing, 15. Great Steve Ditko worm cover. I just really fell in love with this cover, and it's so cool. I mean, I just love the way Ditko. Just seeing Ditko draw some of these Precode horror books before he started drawing Spider-Man some almost 10 years later, I think is pretty cool. And I think it's a very underrated classic when it comes to covers. That was number 9. At number 8, we have another Vault of Horror. Vault of Horror number 12. This is considered the first issue of Vault of Horror. Not a very big upgrade. I had a 2.5, I believe, for a few years, and the opportunity came to finally upgrade it to this. I'm probably going to upgrade this book again down the line, but I went ahead with the 3.5 because I thought the 3.5 looked so much better than my 2.5. I mean, it really did. So, and again, Vault of Horror 12, for anybody that knows, it's not necessarily a very easy book to find. I mean, a lot of these books sometimes are not easy to find. But Vault of Horror 12, I think, is rumored to be a little scarcer than some of the other books that came out around that time at EC. Okay, I believe that was number, what was that? That was number 8, right? This is number 7. Here we have XMen number 3. I've had multiple copies of this book over the years, ever since I started collecting. I started collecting in 1993, and I wound up getting a 3.5 copy. And a few years ago, I upgraded to a 5.0, and I still had the 3.5. So I said, you know what? Let's see if we can get a better copy. And I wound up getting this from my local comic shop. Sold off my 3.5 and my 5.0, and was able to get this. So I think this is a really nice addition. You know, it's really cool to have single-digit X-Men books above 4.0. You know, and this certainly meets the bill. Will this ever be upgraded again? You never know. Never say never. Maybe a nice 7.5 might come along. All right. Now we're at the top 6. All right. Here we have another Precode. And this one is an addition to my collection. And it's a lower grade copy. One day I'd like to upgrade it, but I'm just happy to have it right now. Here we have Menace, number 5. This is the first appearance of the zombie. I believe this was in my last comic book haul video, and I talked a little bit about the zombie and the red, and how in this book it's infamous that the red gets faded pretty quickly, all that. But anyway, this is still a pretty cool key to have, Menace 5, for anybody that likes to collect Precode Atlas. Now, speaking of Precode Atlas, here we have at number 5, another upgrade. I've had 3 copies of this. This being the 3rd copy of Mystic number 28, more cover. Really, really cool. Again, I'd like to upgrade it to maybe a 5 one day, but this will do. I don't really remember the grades I had previously. I think I said what I had in the last video. We'll just check that video out to find out what the grades I had with the other books. But it's a nice 4.0, so I'm happy with that right now. That was number 5. Here we have number 4. This is like one of my absolute favorite purchases, and it's an well, I added it to my collection, then I upgraded it this year, so it's an addition and an upgrade. But man, such a hard book to find. And I got this from my friend Mike, and just out of luck he happened to have this, because nobody had it, and it was just driving me crazy. Here we have Men's Adventures number 26. Again, another Morgue cover. I wound up buying Mystery 9 from Mike, which is a Morgue cover, and this one, Men's 26. Beautiful. Beautiful 5.0. You know, I'm happy with this, because chances of me finding a higher copy, or at least a higher copy that I'm willing to pay for, is probably very, very slim, because it's just so hard to get. And it's nice to have it. Nice to have it in the collection. All right, the top 3. This was an addition to the collection. It's been upgraded twice since joining my collection over the summer. Now, I showed this in my last comic book haul. But here we have Mystery Tales, same series as that first Morgue cover I showed earlier in the video. Mystery Tales number 19. I got a 5.0 copy. I originally started out with a 3.0, then I got a 3.5, and then an opportunity came up to get the 5.0. And it's, believe me, this copy, as you can probably figure out for your own, is light years ahead of the other 2, and I just absolutely love it. Again, a great book. At number 2, we have, now even though this is a bit of a cheat, because this was really purchased at the end of last year, but it didn't appear into a comic book haul until the beginning of this year, so it has to be pooled with this year. All right, but here we have at number 2, Giant Size X-Men number 1. I've had multiple copies of this. This is an upgrade. I've had multiple copies of this over the years. My raw copy, then I had a 6.5 copy, and now I have an 8.5 copy. So it's quite an upgrade, and it's truly a wonderful book to have, no matter what they're doing in the MCU or whatever. Giant Size X-Men, you really can't go wrong with Giant Size X-Men. And for the number 1 purchase of the year, my top book of 2023, this is a top book, not just of 2023, a top book in my collection. You can make that argument for some of these books too, but top book in, if I were to do another updated version of my top 25 books in my collection, which I may do, this one would be very high in the single digits. Here we have X-Men #1. I had this on my to-get list of 2023. I've been planning it for over a year, and it finally came true. I got this at my local comic book shop. I've had multiple copies of this too over the years. This is, I believe, is my 4th copy of X-Men #1. My very first one was coverless. My second one was a 3.0. My third one was another 3.0, a better looking 3.0 than the last 3.0, and now a 5.0. Really, really cool. I'm happy that I was able. Originally, I was planning to get maybe a 4.0 copy of this, but the opportunity came to get a 5.0, and it was nice to get out of that really low range. It was nice to get right down the middle in the mid-grade range for such a great book, such a key book in the Marvel Silver Age and in comics. So I hope you enjoyed the top 12 books of 2023. I'll see if I can come out with my top 10 or top 12 books I like to get for 2024 pretty soon. So I hope you all have a happy new year, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Take care.